sorry. Okay, so today we're going to be going over stat keeping. So as we can see on our worksheet, make sure we're looking at it, we're not putting our face on it, okay?
Sure.
So we are going over stat keeping. So we're going to break you guys up into teams. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a stat keeping team, and we're going to have two teams going against each other in an ultimate frisbee game. So the instructions, if you look on the paper, it says observe your assigned player based on their performance in the game and tally their number of throws. So the number one thing that we want to focus on first is making sure we know who our assigned player is and tallying how many throws that they are passing. Okay, who remembers our two main passes in Ultimate Frisbee? Yes.
Forehand and backhand.
Very good. Okay, so in the beginning we're tallying. As we can see, there are lines here and we have our critical elements for each throw. Okay, so for our forehand throw, we have stepping out to the side when we throw.
And everyone, just make sure that as we go over these critical elements, take a look at myself, because I'm going to be a visual example for you guys of what you're going to be marking on the statistics sheet. So please keep a close eye on me to make sure that you're able to understand what's going on in the game and see the differences and visually what you need to mark correctly. So as Lexie said, we step to the side. So with the forehand, you want to make sure you're stepping this way, out to the side, rather than stepping straight like that.
Okay, so we also want to focus on keeping the disc flat.
So keep the disc flat here. You don't want it to be tipped, because obviously if you tip it, it's going to go affect the direction in which it's going. So keep it flat all the way through.
Okay, and if you notice, Mr. Jack just had where he was keeping his arm out, extended to the side. So you want your arm extended to the side, and you want to flick with your wrist as you're passing.
So, for example, you guys don't want to have your arm cocked like this. You don't want to have it straight up like this, or to the ground like this. You want it straight out to your side. Also, with the wrist, this is not like a whole arm motion. Your arm is not all one. You have to break it up into segments. So your wrist is the one segment, and you're snapping your wrist, flicking it like that. Okay? Any questions on any of these critical elements and any need for another demonstration? Do we understand what the correct versus incorrect looks like for these elements?
Okay, so now we're going to go on to the backhands. Remember, this is just a refresher. We've gone through this already. But when you do your backhand throw, you want to step towards your target with your dominant
So
foot.
say Lexie's my target, I'm a righty, I'm stepping to her with my right foot. You don't want to, if Lexie's right in front of me, you don't want to step to the side, or you don't want to step with the opposite foot.
And then your throwing arm is going to cross over your body.
So when we say crossover body, we're saying go this way. You don't want to think that you're just a little bit, because that affects how strong you're going to be and how hard you're going to throw the frisbee. So you want to reach across your body fully and then extend.
Okay, so like you said, we're going to extend out to our target on release, and like the other throw, we're going to flick our wrist. As you can see, we have 3 levels of performance. So 3 would be our consistently always doing the correct form. 2 would be most of the time, and if only sometimes, we can put 1 as in needs improvement. Okay? Does anyone have any questions?
No.
No? Okay, so remember, first we're tallying, and then from there, after we watch their game, we're going to go and just get an average for how they did performance-wise, okay?
And should we also mention, let's also mention, guys, on the bottom of our sheet also, there's also tallying the number of forehand passes or backhand passes. So as well as observing and looking for these critical elements, just to give you guys another thing to look for, you're going to tally the number of times that the person you're observing is using that forehand pass or using that backhand pass. So we just want to also make sure that you guys can understand what pass is what, so that's what we're going to be looking for as well.
Okay, so we are going to break up into 3 groups. So remember 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we are going to have you as a referee. Okay, so my group number 2, you are going to be getting the stats first. Okay? So we're going to give 2 minutes to the other 2 groups that are going to practice their forehand and backhand, and then we'll start our game.
And real quick, people that are assessing first, everybody just listen up real quick.
Yes.
Get with your teams first and then we'll talk. Get with your teams first and then we'll talk.
Stat keepers.
So everyone that's stat keeping in the beginning, while they're practicing, practice your stat keeping skills too. Practice looking for these critical elements. Just you don't have to write anything down right now, but practice looking for these specific things so that when we get into the actual gameplay, you understand what we're doing. So here's a disc for the 2 teams. You guys could just practice a quick game. Just practice throwing it around. There should be another frisbee as well. And you guys can put the papers down for now. Here's the other frisbee for team 2. So you guys just split the gym and just practice on your sides, just using the 2 passes.
So this is a class that is very specific about stat teaching, because that's what you want them to do eventually, for them just to have their player and run the statistics. And you just heard that it's going to be based on a number, a rating scale based on the performance, and also there's going to be the tally in terms of the form. It's a very assessment on form, so it's formative assessment. The explanation was very well done. I would have planned it so it was a little bit faster. It took you a little bit more than 5 minutes to go through that. You know that it, regardless of where you are, not necessarily a criteria in the rubric, so it's not going to be points deducted, but just know that when it comes to any of the levels, elementary, middle, or high school, you do not want to spend too much time explaining. That comes down to your planning. How is it that you're going to break it down, or how is it that you're going to, how fast is it that you're going to do the explanation? But you know that as a rule of thumb, 3 minutes is your mark. Could it be 4? Yeah, but in your case you were just a little bit more than 5. Complex, because you did cover multiple elements in your explanation, yes, but still. Students are not going to necessarily pay attention to that. Students just want to play, and they are going to more than likely start to act out based on the attention span. So far, you know, they understood. Now they're on the side. Now they're going to, they're already practicing.
Steps to the side.
So remember, focus on the tally first. The beginning part of where you're giving the performance grade, we're going to tally at the end.
Don't throw the frisbee yet.
Most of the time, you might want to give them a 3. Right? But you want to be honest because they're your friends.
Okay, so team 1 and team 2, get into your positions. We're going to throw off.
Rick, this better be
We'll
a
just
darn
use
good
black.
throw.
So what we're going to do is we're going to stay within this black line here. This green line? Yeah, the green line. Sorry, I'm colorblind. Sorry. So just stay within the green. You guys throw off and we're good to go.
Okay, Alyssa is our referee. So she's going to be calling out of bounds,
End zone
turnovers.
is getting it into the cone area.
I was saying that Alyssa is going to be our referee, so she is calling if it's out of bounds, if there's an interception, or if there's a turnover. Okay? Okay, you can start.
Wait, can I just pause that real quick? Pause. Hold the frisbee. Scorekeepers, listen up. This is very important for you. On that one, can I just say that frisbee? Sal, not to point you out, this is just constructed. Scorekeepers, listen to this. On that one, we saw on the backhand, Sal didn't step to his target when he threw. So stat keepers, look at our stat sheet and just make sure that we're marking that correctly. Make sure you're looking for that. I don't know if we caught that, but just make sure when we're, and everybody, Sal included, make sure that we're stepping to our target when we're using the backhand. Even in a quick game like this, you have to step to your target. All right, so I don't know whose frisbee that was, but here we go.
Give a letter for you. Thank you.
All right, on go.
Okay, excellent. Stop the game, reinforce what you're looking in the statistic. This was also addressed to the statistic.
Referee, wait for the referee's call.
Out of bounds.
Just use your outside foot.
Use your.
Okay, just make sure
Roll
to
encouragement.
project your
That's 1-0, thank you.
Hold on, they were just fixing it. Redo. Relax. Relax, they're just redoing it. It was from the.
There's no.
Okay, we'll just start with the re-throw off. This team will throw off to that team again.
Next time you may be able to play referee. Okay? That can be your role next time.
All right, here we go.
Not bad throw. Not bad.
4 more minutes.
That's gone.
Okay, stop real quick. Stop real quick. Scorekeepers, one more thing that I just wanted to check. Can I have that frisbee?
He didn't keep it flat.
Very good.
So yes, that's what we were going to just point out.
Observation.
Mr. Ryan, that's a great point. So what Rick just did on that one, Rick had his frisbee when he was throwing it angled towards the ground this way. Notice how the flight of that frisbee curved, and that was because, as Mr. Ryan said, that if you don't keep the frisbee flat, right, the flight of the frisbee is going to be redirected. So Mrs. Lexie has something to tell the class.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is the team on this side who just got their stats taken. We're going to have you finish up and we're going to switch. So now you guys are going to be playing and they're going to be taking stats. Okay, so make sure you finish up.
Finish up your stats.
I got Ryan. That'll be a tough day up here. I got one for this.
Not today. Not today.
Very good. Okay, once you have switched up, go on the field.
Here we go.
Yeah,
The one you did, you messed up. I almost know it.
And you see that now in terms of the practice, they're switching because now you want, instead of only 3 statisticians for today, it's going to be 6 statisticians for today, which is pretty much more than half of the class running what they explained at the very beginning. So this is mostly about running the statistic per se.
It's team
They're
line
going
off.
to, if we have time, they'll get assessed. If not, we'll assess them next week.
Yeah. Look at that. Okay.
Very good question, though, Alyssa.
Good, Sal.
Turnover!
You got it. Guys, make sure to utilize the forehand as well. Utilize both types of passes. It's not all about scoring.
Remember to keep
Out of bounds! Out of bounds! Out of bounds!
Your last foot was out.
Ryan, move! Just try it. It's okay. Ryan,
Try your best. Very good job stepping. Very good.
use the forehand. Hold that frisbee. So one thing that just happened there, can I have that frisbee? Yeah. So one thing that just happened there, stat keepers, is that when he was throwing that with his backhand, do we see how that flew up in the air and just floated? Right? That's because he didn't fully extend outward with his arm. When you short arm it like that, you're not going to give it enough power and it's just going to glide in the air. So when he threw it like that, he didn't extend his arm fully towards his target. So that's why it just glides like a flying saucer. So you want it to be straight as a dart. So
And I don't know if anyone noticed that Moab did a really, really good job stepping towards his target. So whoever is assessing his stats, he did a really good job on that one.
all right.
Put a star next to it.
Ryan and Sal, please be careful with our language. That's taunting. Stop with the taunting. No taunting.
Remember, Ryan, step to the side.
Step to the
So
side.
shopkeepers, remember, they want to step towards the side.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Sal needs hands.
I wouldn't say it's excellent. I would say that might be,
Yes.
you know? How's it going? Good. Doing really
Last
well.
possession. Last possession.
I said scores. So.
Remember, you
Underline.
guys both passes.
Last possession. Go for the touchdown if you want.
That's way more than 10 seconds, dog.
All right, here we go. Grab the frisbee. Bring it back in. Great job. Great job. Assessors, finish up your last
Okay, bring it in on the green line.
Let's go, everyone. This Marshall needs to watch out. Tom.
All of us?
Yes. So finish up your stat keeping. Finish up everything you need to. And we're going to stand on this line.
Hey, yo, it's alright.
Alrighty, so everybody listen up, everybody listen up. So this is what we want to. So stat keepers, whoever has a sheet right now, what was, or everybody, because there was a lot of stat keepers. What was one thing that you guys noticed that was a common struggle amongst keeping the stats?
Right.
What was
Oh,
the
like
struggle?
struggling keeping the stats or struggle within the stats?
Struggle with keeping stats. With what did you struggle with personally, like just in doing the job itself?
So I would tally in the wrong forehand or back base.
Okay, that's fine. Even though we'll iron that out for next time.
I think I need to do a better job at paying attention to the game because I kind of forgot to tally some of his throws.
That's okay.
And that comes with time too. This is our first time doing it. Next week, I know a group didn't get to go yet, so definitely next week we can do that. Now, what have you noticed that the people that you were assessing struggled with? What was a common denominator that people maybe weren't doing so well with?
People aren't keeping it flat.
Weren't keeping the
Or
first
stepping.
spot?
Fully extending, following through, you know. Good observation.
And what do you think they did well with?
I think we were all really good with the backhand throw.
I think I would say as a whole, I think we as a class like the backhand more than the forehand.
I noticed that the stat keepers were very observant, so good job on that end.
I have a question. Are we gonna ever add the hammer throw to this?
So once
We're not
we,
I don't think we're that advanced yet.
Maybe next, because I'm better at that than underhand. but
maybe next week, we
that's
could
fine.
definitely add that in.
All right,
That's a
cool.
great idea. So good job, everyone.